Beyond simple narratives, the genesis of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, a pillar of faith and tradition for billions, boasts a history as rich and complex as the very faith it espouses. Often, the Church's origins are presented as a linear progression, a clear path from Christ to Peter, and the establishment of an unchallenged church. However, this narrative, while comforting in its simplicity, belies the intricate and often turbulent reality of the Church's formative years. To truly understand the Catholic Church's genesis, we must delve into the messy human story of conflicting ideologies, power struggles, and political maneuvering that shaped its destiny. The Church's beginnings were far from monolithic. Early Christianity was characterized by a diversity of beliefs and practices, a vibrant tapestry of interpretations of Jesus' teachings. From these diverse threads, Catholicism emerged as the dominant form, but not without considerable debate, conflict, and the intervention of powerful figures both within and outside the nascent Church. This essay endeavors to unravel the complexities surrounding the Catholic Church's formation, moving beyond simplistic narratives to reveal a story woven from threads of faith, ambition, and human fallibility. By examining the roles of key individuals, exploring the impact of pivotal events, and acknowledging the shadows that often lurk behind historical triumphs, we can gain a more nuanced and ultimately richer understanding of the Catholic Church's origins. Peter and the Apostles, Foundations and Fissures. Central to the Catholic Church's self-understanding is the figure of Peter, designated by Jesus as the rock upon which he would build his church. Peter's primacy among the apostles is a cornerstone of Catholic tradition, but the precise nature of his role and the extent of his authority in the early church remain subjects of debate. While the Gospels depict Peter as a prominent figure among Jesus' disciples, they also reveal his flaws and moments of doubt. Peter's impulsive nature and his denial of Jesus on the eve of the crucifixion underscore the human frailties inherent even in those chosen to lead. Following Jesus' death and resurrection, Peter assumed a leadership role, preaching the gospel and guiding the nascent Christian community. However, the early church was far from a unified entity. Other apostles, including James, Jesus' brother, exerted significant influence, particularly in Jerusalem. Paul, a later convert, played a pivotal role in spreading the Christian message beyond its Jewish roots, often clashing with Peter and other apostles over matters of doctrine and practice. These disagreements, documented in the New Testament itself, highlight the diversity of thought and leadership that characterized the early church. The crucible of conflict shaping doctrine in the early church. The first few centuries of Christianity were a period of intense theological ferment. With no central authority or codified doctrine, early Christians grappled with fundamental questions about Jesus' nature, the path to salvation, and the organization of the church. This theological diversity, while enriching, also led to disputes and divisions within the burgeoning Christian movement. Various groups, each claiming to possess the true interpretation of Jesus' teachings, emerged, offering competing visions of Christian belief and practice. Gnosticism, with its emphasis on esoteric knowledge and a dualistic worldview, posed a significant challenge to what would become Orthodox Christianity. Other groups, such as the Marcionites and the Ebionites, promoted their own distinct interpretations of Jesus' message. The development of Christian doctrine was not simply an intellectual exercise, it was often intertwined with power struggles and political maneuvering. Bishops, emerging as leaders of local Christian communities, vied for influence, seeking to promote their own theological views and consolidate their authority. The stage was set for a decisive confrontation that would shape the future of Christianity. Section 4. Nicaea, Constantine's Creed, and the Consolidation of Power. The Council of Nicaea, convened in 325 CE by the Roman Emperor Constantine, stands as a watershed moment in Christian history. While often portrayed as a triumph of orthodoxy, Nicaea was as much a political event as a religious one, marking a turning point in the Church's relationship with secular power. Constantine, recognizing the growing influence of Christianity within the Roman Empire, sought to unite the fractious Christian community under a single state-sanctioned creed. The council, composed of bishops from across the empire, became a battleground for competing theological factions, with the nature of Christ's divinity at the heart of the debate. After months of heated debate and political maneuvering, the Council of Nicaea produced the Nicene Creed, a statement of faith that affirmed the divinity of Christ and condemned Arianism, a rival theological school. Constantine's support for the Nicene Creed proved decisive, lending the weight of imperial authority to one particular interpretation of Christian doctrine. Section 5. The struggle for supremacy, power, politics, and the papacy. With the consolidation of Christian doctrine at Nicaea, a new struggle emerged, the battle for supremacy within the Church itself. The Bishop of Rome, later known as the Pope, gradually asserted his authority over other bishops, claiming primacy based on Peter's purported position as the first Bishop of Rome. This claim to papal supremacy did not go unchallenged. Other bishops, particularly those in the East, resisted Roman authority, leading to centuries of tension and schism within the Church. The papacy's growing power was often intertwined with secular politics, as popes forged alliances with kings and emperors, using their spiritual authority to advance their temporal interests. The Church's involvement in secular affairs, while consolidating its power, also led to corruption and abuses. The sale of indulgences, the practice of granting pardons for sins in exchange for money, sparked outrage and contributed to the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century. The Church's history is thus a complex tapestry woven from threads of faith, power, and human fallibility.